Hello peeps. Today you find me on my Honda VFR 1200X. It's a beautiful day and I'm out to test my new DJI camera again. I thought I might got out yesterday, but this is what the weather was like yesterday. We had an absolute gale. It hammered down, there was strong winds coming in off the North Sea. And to be honest, it was pretty brutal. But today, the weather is beautiful. It's about 10, 11 degrees. It's dry, the sun is out, and yesterday is a distant memory. So, we started off and I get down to the bottom of the road, and the police are there. Someone's having a bad day. There's a 3-car crash. There's the two on the left and you'll see a silver one on the right. I think that one got up the backside from this one that's sitting in the middle. Looks like a write-off. Anyways, I had to sort something to do with my sat nav. I hadn't plugged it in properly, so I decided to come off road and come into Camperdown Country Park. There's the settings of the Action 3, it's 2.7K, 25 frames per second, and it's rock steady. So, the first thing I notice is the colours are beautiful, the picture is a wide field of view, and overall it's handling all the different colours and different lights. I'm absolutely delighted with this camera. This is only the second time I've taken the camera out on the bike, and the results this time is far better than the last one. I think Rocksteady is probably going to be the settings I'll stick with. The previous one was Horizon, Leveling or Steady, and I can't remember which one it was, but this looks better. I think it was on the Classic 350. Today's the first day I've been out on the VFR for about a month for whatever reason. And going from the 350 to this monster, you got to be careful, you got to watch what you're doing. And of course, as soon as it entered the country park, the road was covered in wet, damp leaves, so happy days. But it cleared up a bit. This is a huge park, and it's a beautiful park, and it's well used by the people of Dundee and surrounding areas. So the results from the camera, the steady picture, the beautiful views, the colours, it's all being captured very well. Are getting a bit tricky again. Just over there on the right hand side is Camperdown House. Unfortunately at the moment Dundee Council don't seem to be able to find a use for it, and it's boarded up, although there's a bit of work going on at it, but it's a beautiful building. So I'll pull over at the side. There's a guy there on the right flying what looks like a DJI Mini. It's either a 2 or 3, I'm not really sure which one it was, didn't get a close enough look. But that's him landing. So I make the changes and head out, and I think, right, let's get going. And then I see this mucky road and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So if you look at the sat nav, you can see how sharp that turn is. You're coming back on yourself. Now you don't see that on the picture here because of the way the field of view works, but it is quite a sharp turn. There's a bit of a camber on the road, and of course all this muck with the leaves and the wet. Anyway, we get past it okay, and we head out of one of the side exits. This journey today that I was on, this ride out, I was out for 2 hours. I did 64 miles. I went round, I headed out of Dundee, headed towards Perthshire, headed up north a bit towards Beargowrie, headed across, went through Forfar, and I headed back down through the back roads to the Arbroath to Dundee road, and then back onto the dual carriageway back to Dundee. The battery life on this camera is amazing. I was on the bike for 2 hours, and the camera on the single battery recorded the entire journey. So that's 2 hours worth of battery, and there was still something in it. Not very much, mind you, but still something in it when I got home. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So here we're coming up to the main road, the exit. There's a tricky camber here. It's a heavy bike I've got, and look at the state of the road. I have to be very careful here. And we're queer and we shut out. So the park is still on the left hand side. You'll see how big this is. I'm going the national speed limit, about 40 miles an hour. And it goes on and on and on and on. But you can't get out any of the other gates. They've closed them all off now, so the only exit and entrance are the two that you've seen in this video. But I've just left it on because it's a test of the camera. You're getting to see some nice views. There's lots of leaves around, but just the sheer size of the park. Used to be an 18-hole golf course in there. Like everything else, the council decided to close it. Hey-ho. So overall, the camera is absolutely stunning. It's a big step up from the DJI, the original DJI Action, as you would expect. It's a few years old now, and it's well worth the £309 or something for the camera. I bought the £400 version. It gave us the extra batteries and a few other bits and pieces. So that's us leaving and onto the open road, and of course what am I greeted with? Look at the state of that road. But it don't last long. So we're heading towards Cooper Angus. Some nice bits of road up here. We're going through the Sidlaws. You'll hear me talk about the Sidlaws quite a lot, and I'm going to do a video on the Sidlaws because it's a fantastic playground for motorcycles. So I have a bit of a rant about reviews. Now, you get it all the time with motorcycles, but there was one the other day that I watched that compared this camera with a GoPro. Now, it doesn't matter which one you think's better or worse, but if you're sitting there trying to do a review, you really should try and be balanced. The review felt to me very, very loaded towards the GoPro. Now, there's no doubt about it, the GoPro's good, but it's half as much again. And the reliability of GoPro over the years has been shocking. When I go out with the cameras and turn them on, I expect them to record it. I can't go back and re-record it, and for that reason reliability is right up there with picture quality. And the guy was comparing the picture quality, and some of the picture quality of the GoPro was better, and some of the DJI, in my opinion, was better. Right, so it's just about opinions, isn't it? But of course this guy's sitting there and he's touting off going, no, this camera's getting sent back, it's no use, it doesn't focus right, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. And I'm thinking, but surely to goodness it's about use case. Look at the picture you're getting here on a motorcycle. It's as good as any GoPro, I would say. It's only in 2.7K, but then YouTube mangles it up anyway. You can record to 4K all you like, but if YouTube doesn't like the connection you've got, or indeed applies its own changes to your video, you're never going to see what the original one is like. So I just think it's unfair at times, and the way people do reviews, and they do it with motorcycles. It's not fast enough, it's not big enough, it's not boring, or whatever it is. Oh, the road to the left here, that will take us up to Glenshee and Braemar. That's how close we are to the Cairngorm. So we now get back on the open road. So end of rant, but I just wish that when people do reviews, they do it with an open and honest mind and be a bit balanced about it, and stop trying to favour your favourite item, whatever it might be. However, this camera is brilliant. The sound I've still got to work on. I'm doing one change at a time. I'm working on the picture. The next set of tests that I will do will be playing about with the sound settings. Not that there's many, mind you, but I'll need to get a microphone for it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm coming towards the end of the video. The last part of the video, you'll see the camera's pointing straight into the setting sun. There we go there. And for me, that's actually doing quite well. It's doing really well, because there was times when I was looking into the sun and I could barely see what was going on. So for the camera to get the detail it does, it was amazing. We're on the dual carriageway, which is the natural home of this bike, which is fantastic on mile munching. And there you go, right into the sun. Yeah, look at all that detail. So very happy so far. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Thanks for watching.